Good morning to all. In data warehousing and mining, we are now at lecture number 4, in which we will discuss about the rule-based classifiers in data mining. Now let's introduce the concept of the rule-based classifiers. In that rule-based classifiers, it is just another type of classifier. It is based on the decisions, and we can say that it is based on the conditions of if and else rules. So these rules are easily interpretable, and thus these classifiers are generally used to generate the descriptive models. Likewise, uh, suppose there are some conditions, so in which you need to take and which in which the models need to take the solutions or need to take the decisions. For that, you need to make use of the conditions of if, that is called the antecedent, and the predicted class rule called as consequent. So let's see, okay, what are the different properties of the class-based classifiers. So the percentage of records which satisfy the antecedent conditions of a particular rule. It means that in the particular if conditions, how many records are satisfying the different type of conditions, that we need to understand, and how much they are having a maximum coverage to reach out into the final decision. So the rules generated by the rule-based classifiers is generally not mutually exclusive. It means that at the same times, both conditions cannot be satisfied. So that's why the many rules can cover the same record. So it normally happen ki if you are creating a rules, so it will take it the coverage of the same record. The rules generated by the rule-based classifiers may not be exhaustive. It means that there may be some records which are not covered by the any rules. So there is a possibility if you are creating a rules, then you need to identify that particular attributes are covering into that particular rules segments or not. If it is not there, so definitely they cannot be exhaustive. Similarly, the decision boundaries created by them is linear, but these can be much more complex than the decision tree. So many rules are triggered for the same record. So that also a kind of a property into the rule-based classifiers. So you can see that if the rules are not mutually exclusive, is that how would the class be decided in case different rules with the different consequent cover the record. So if you are having a number of records and you are deriving the number of rules, so there is some possibility uh, of that particular problem, that either the rule can be order or otherwise we can assign the boards. So rules can be given a sequence of the orders in which you need to identify that corresponding what is the highest priority rule triggered is will be the final class. Otherwise, if they are not following into the rule, then you need to check it with the vote system. For you can see that here into the vote case, each class depending on some their weights if the rules remains unordered. Executing a rule set. So what are the different ways of the executing of a rule set? One is that order set of rules, that is called the decision list. Order is important for this interpretation. It means that you need to create the order of the situations. And another one is that unordered set of rules. It means there is no ordering into the data so that you will be able to create the rules. So rules may be overlap and lead to the different conclusion for the same instances. So that is how somehow the possibility is to taken care that how the rules can be overlapped, and accordingly will you be able to take the decision or not. That is also depending. So let's see how exactly it can be solved. So how we can use the rule-based classification? Say for example, there is a classifier X, and this is dependent on somehow the attribute values. Age is that attribute, income is that attribute, students is an attribute, and credit rating is the attribute. And they are having a values youth, medium, yes, fair. So we need to identify the rule which satisfy these kind of conditions. So if a rule is satisfied by the X, if you are creating any rule, and if this is satisfying these conditions, so we can say that the rule is triggered. Otherwise, what happened? It can arise some kind of a potential problems. What can be the problems? Like that, if more than one rule is satisfying, then what will be the situation? And if no rule is satisfied, then what can be the situation and what can be the solution? So these are the some rule which can have. If we can say that more than one rule, then we have to we can say that these are the some having conflicts, and the solution is related with that. You need to apply some conflict resolution strategies. And if there is no rule, then you can make it into the separate class. So that can be also a kind of a solution. Now let's see how the conflict resolution can be solved. So in order to tackle the potential problem, if more than one rule is triggered, so it needs a conflict resolution strategy. So what can be the possible strategies are? One is that size of ordering and the rule ordering. So rule ordering is again is to be divided into the class based ordering and the rule based ordering. Now let's see this what how can we understand about the size ordering. In this particular size ordering, we can give it a highest priority to the triggering rules, that is measured by the rule preconditions. So we can set some kind of a priority system. What can be the decision which can have a particular highest priority, then what can be the next one priority. So in this case, the rules are unordered. In the class-based ordering system, it decreasing order of the most frequent. So that is all of the rules for the most frequent class come from first. The rules for the next most frequent class come next. It means that when you are having in a sequence manner, then you can predict it on the basis of the reducing strategy. So that's why it will coming under the decreasing order. So decreasing order of the misclassification cost per class, and that is the most popular strategy. So that you can put up into a specific, you can figure out into the specific classes, and it can have, due to which, likewise, if you can understand, there are large number of data sets, so you can put up into the different number of classes. And the classes, when you have been started, suppose say for example, if you are having n number of classes, so then when you are putting up into a single class, then accordingly your decreasing order will get started to complete up to the zero level. Then only you can have a hierarchy. On the basis of that, this resolution can be solved. Third one is the rule-based ordering system. The rules are organized into one long priority list according to the some measures of the rule quality. So here you need to put up into a priority list of all the rules. Then you can check its accuracy and what is the maximum coverage of the data sets, or you can help taken help by the experts. So somehow you need to go for these kind of an options. Third one was the default rule. If we are saying that no rule is satisfied to the X, then in that particular cases, a default rule can be set up to specify a default class based on the training set. Sometimes I can give a very simple example. Then if we are using a voting system, if you can say the ballot system, or we can say there is a neck to neck situation in which all the competent candidates, and they are having a probability of winning their seat on the basis of marginal one or two voters. So in that situation, sometimes it has happened there are some outliers, or the some kind of an data sets which we feel that they are into the discrepancy, and we can look up at the end of the counting. So in that particular situation, those type of measures can be taken, and on the basis of those measures, a particular candidate result is to be announced, whether they have been win for the situation of one or two more votes. So sometimes it happens that. So it means that for that outliers, we can keep it into a separate classes, and because they are not coming into that particular data sets decision or the constraints, so that's why they have been put up into the different rule segments. So this is the way how exactly, yeah, you can identify. Now we can see that how the rules you can identify on the basis of these particular decision tree sets. So whatever we have studied, we can understand that, okay, suppose this is a one kind of an outlook which is having some decisions on sunny, and sunny is having with humidity. Then there is a conditions high and the normal in the case of yes or no. Then high we can say no, and in the case this yes. So similar wise you can see that need to understand the extraction keywords if and then. So we will use these three particular keywords if and then. Now suppose we are extracting the first rule. So we can say that if outlook is equal to sunny and humidity is high, then play is no. So play is one of the factor in which you will decide it whether you want to play into the sunny time or the humidity time, yes or no. So here we have used the if condition and and then. So both all the three keywords is used. For the second rule, if you can say that if outlook is equal to sunny and humidity and normal, then you are just predicting okay, yes. So again there are the three keywords which has been used, but in some rules you have been override with the only the two rules. Like if you are having outlook equal to overcast, then you can say play equal to yes. In that situation you can decide whatever the attributes or the whatever the conditions you can specify to take a decision, and you will perform your action accordingly. This is what all about the rules based classification, and we understood how exactly and what are the different type of strategies we need to follow to cover up in the case of the multiple rules if they are satisfying the conditions. And I hope this particular session is clear about this rule based classifications. Thank you for watching me. If you are having any doubts, so you can reach me out up to vikas.srivastava@galgotiasuniversity.edu.in. Thank you very much.